Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Thursday, July 29th. I am here with your top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start with very exciting news for an Olympian out of Chardon, Ohio. Alternate Matt Ludwig is on his way to Tokyo to compete in the Olympics right now. He was called to compete up as an alternate in the U.S. men's pole vaulting competition after Sam Kendricks tested positive for COVID-19. Now, once Ludwig arrives in Tokyo, he will compete in the men's pole vault competition, which starts on Friday at 8:40 p.m. Eastern time. So he'll have a little bit of time to get acclimated, but not much. 3 News caught up with him at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport this morning, right before he hopped on his flight to Tokyo. And he hadn't had much sleep, but he did say the opportunity to compete is a lifelong dream. He said it certainly hadn't settled in yet, but it will get there. And he says he's sure that he'll process it at some point. Here's a quote from him. "I had entire lifelong goals to get to this point. It's a bit of a strange route to get here, but I'm just as excited and I don't want to waste the opportunity." He also said the last-minute nature of this journey to Tokyo is a little bit different, a little bit of a stressor there. He says we're sort of expected to be prepared as the alternates, but there's a little bit of preparation that's not exactly handled the same way. So finding out a day or two beforehand is quite stressful, but we'll make it. Ludwig attended Lake Catholic High School, and he's a graduate of the University of Akron, and he will represent Team USA in that pole vault competition again starting on Friday evening local time here, and we will be rooting him on. Now, one competition is already complete. Team USA women's gymnastics competitor Suni Lee won the gold in the gymnastics all-around competition at the Tokyo Olympics, and in doing that, she became the 5th straight American woman to claim that title. That was on Thursday. She edged out the competitor from Brazil in a very hotly contested final, and that was while champion Simone Biles watched from the stands. Now, her total of 57.433 points was just enough to top the Brazilian competitor. She had entered the first gymnastics all-around the first gymnastics all-around medal by a Latin American athlete, but she missed out on the gold after stepping out of bounds twice during that floor routine. Russian gymnast Angelina Melnikova got the bronze. Now, this is 2 days after the Russian the Russian team won the gold in the team final in the women's gymnastics competition. The Americans won the silver in that event. That was where we saw Simone Biles withdrawing from that event after one rotation when she decided she wasn't mentally prepared to compete. Jade Carey replaced Simone Biles, who also stepped out of the individual all-around finals for the U.S. She finished in 9th place. Now, back here at home, Cleveland Browns defensive end Garrett has commented on Simone Biles' choice to withdraw not only from the team finals but also the individual all-around finals. Here's what Garrett said. "I know a lot of people have differing opinions on that, with her being the best and saying it and admitting it openly. She feels like she's the best, and I agree. I don't like that she did it, but I believe that it took a lot of courage to do that, admitting that mentally she didn't feel like she was there and it was affecting her physical performance." Now, sort of elaborating on what he meant by "I don't like that she did it," Garrett went on to say, "It hurts to see that, but as a competitor, I wanted her to just go through it, tough through it. But as a person, as a human being, you've got to be able to know when you've reached your limit and be able to empathize with that." And we do now still wait to see if Simone Biles will continue on in the other individual finals. She has qualified for all 4 of the individual finals in the gymnastics competition. That's something that she did not do in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro, when she took home a total of 5 medals from that Olympics. And if you have been watching The Bachelorette, you know we've been following the story of our local Michael Allio. Well, we got an exclusive interview with him on my 3 Things to Know podcast. That's out right now, and he revealed to me first here on 3 that he did tell Katie Thurston that he would not leave Ohio. He said that he first told her he was open to anywhere in the Midwest, somewhere like Chicago, but then later he admitted no, he's actually not flexible at all on that because of his 4-year-old son James and the support community that he's built here in the Akron area. And Katie responded to that. Now, if you want to see what Katie had to say, you need to listen to the podcast. It's 3 Things to Know with Stephanie Haney. You can find it on every podcast platform. Also at WKYC.com/3 Things to Know. And you can watch it, if you would prefer to watch it, on our WKYC YouTube channel. Now, keeping it in Bachelor Nation, I also talked yesterday with the Bachelorette alum Blake Horstman. He was on Becca Kufrin's season of The Bachelorette. Now, I talked with him because he is coming here to Cleveland on Friday. He'll be DJing at the Barley House. That'll be a set happening late Friday night here in downtown Cleveland. We talked about what he thought about Michael sending himself home and also what his biggest concern is for Michael if he does become The Bachelor. So for that interview, again, WKYC.com/3 things to know, and for everything you need to know to see him at his DJ set at Barley House on Friday night. That's at West 6th Street here in downtown Cleveland. Now, we did hear from Michael Allio, the Bachelor Nation resident dad, that he is planning to take his son James to Disney World very soon. Now, if he does that, they're going to have to wear masks on the rides because Disney World is updating its mask policy. Guests will now be required to wear masks indoors on rides regardless of vaccination status. This is as coronavirus cases are surging in Florida. Now, starting July 30th is when that will happen. That is tomorrow, Friday. All guests aged 2 and up will wear a mask indoors regardless of that vaccination status. Also on Disney buses, on the monorail, and the Disney Skyliner. That policy hasn't changed. That had been the policy that was in place. And when you enter and ride those attractions, optional for guests in outdoor common areas. For more information on that mask policy, we have that at WKYC.com. Now, here in Northeast Ohio, 4 Northeast Ohio communities have been upgraded to a substantial level of COVID-19 spread, according to the CDC. They reached the orange level on a CDC map that's tracking coronavirus spread. This happened yesterday. That's less than 24 hours after the map first came out, and those counties were listed at yellow. Those counties are Ashland, Carroll, Erie, and Lorain counties. This means the center is recommending all residents in those areas should wear masks while in public, indoor spaces, regardless of that vaccination status. Now, this is based on the CDC tracking and updating data based on the number of cases per 100,000 residents. And it's if you reach 50 cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 residents, that's when you get bumped up to that orange level, that substantial spread. And that is and also based on the percentage of positive tests within a 7-day period. So that's what they're looking at there. And this is as the Delta variant continues to spread across the U.S. Lorain County's Health Commissioner Dave Cavell told 3 News, as the Delta variant moves in, we will continue to see more cases among the unvaccinated. Most counties up here in Northeast Ohio have a pretty good vaccination rate, including Lorain County. Now, 3 News asked the Ohio Department of Health how it plans to sort of stop the rise in cases and is waiting for a response. But in an email response from the governor's office, Governor Mike DeWine, a spokesperson, told 3 News, the Ohio Department of Health has a team which tracks these numbers daily. Getting the COVID vaccine is still the best way to protect yourself and loved ones from COVID. And that is what Cavell said as well. People need to get vaccinated. He said he can't say it loudly enough. Now, let's turn back to sports. Browns training camp is underway. It's now day 2, and our 3 News team is there covering it all. And today, Baker Mayfield said that he can play a whole lot better than last year and that he's trying to improve every single year. Now, the Browns had a great year last year. There was a lot of success in 2020, but Mayfield says that's not relevant for 2021. He says he's not concerning himself with the past precedent for quarterback growth. He's just focusing on his own individual development. In case you need a reminder, last season the Browns went to their first playoff appearance since 2002 and the first postseason victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers, might I add, since 1994. Baker went on to say, when it comes to looking at other guys from 3rd to 4th years, I don't compare myself to anybody. I try to be the best version of me. I think that's what we try to stress in this building is it matters what goes on. If you're getting better, the team's getting better, and we're pushing each other to your job first and foremost. Love to hear those words from our quarterback, Baker Mayfield. And in the baseball world, the Tribe is trading second baseman Cesar Hernandez to the Chicago White Sox for a minor league pitcher. Getting this just in under the deadline. That trade deadline is Friday, so they've agreed to that trade. The minor league pitcher coming to Cleveland is Connor Pilkington. Now, Hernandez was acquired by the Tribe as a free agent of ahead of the 2020 season. He's 31 years old, and he's been the primary second baseman for the Tribe for the past 2 seasons. He's also a switch hitter and been one of the most consistent batters this season. 3rd in the team with home runs, 18 home runs, and 2nd in RBIs, 47 RBIs. Now, Pilkington, he's 23 years old. He's a left-hander. He was selected by the White Sox in the 3rd round of the 2018 Major League Baseball draft. He's had 14 appearances, all starts for the AA Birmingham this season. He's got a 4-4 record, 3.48 ERA, and 71 strikeouts, and he is coming to Cleveland. And speaking of our Cleveland baseball team, they will be called the Guardians at the end of the season and the beginning of next season. And James Gunn, who is the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy, he supports people calling for the new mascot to be Groot, that tree, or Rocket the raccoon from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also the co-writer on that and on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And he showed his support, tweeting online, "If the new logo isn't a raccoon with a machine gun, I'm going to be bummed." And then he tweeted a fan mock-up of what that would look like, Marvel's Rocket the Raccoon as a Major League Baseball logo. It had the navy blue and red colors. It looked pretty good. And he said, okay, well, I would definitely support that team when he shared that logo. He also said he would be all for Groot, the lovable tree from the Guardians of the Galaxy, taking over the mascot position. Cleveland did announce, though, that they are keeping Slider on board as the mascot, even when that name change does happen. But hey, you never know. Maybe there's room for more people to play there. I guess we will find out, because it's a pretty safe bet that the look of things will probably change as the team evolves and we take on that new persona, the Cleveland Guardians, at Progressive Field. That is it for your 3 News Now update today for Thursday, July 29th. I will see you next up on What's New with some sneak peek clips of my conversation with both the Bachelorette's Michael Allio and Bachelorette alum Blake Horstman, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.